Tesla has a huge surprise coming in 2025 that no one is talking about, and this is in addition to the big Model Y Juniper refresh. I mean, if you take a look at Tesla's lineup for 2025, you've got the incredibly valued Model 3 that is packed with features, the all-new Model Y Juniper refresh that is going to make the best-selling car in the world even better, you've got the monster Cybertruck, you've got Cybercab, it's really Model S and mainly Model X. It's looking a bit old and dated, and I get the question all the time, is it even worth it in 2024 or now 2025 to even consider this thing? Right around double the price of the Model Y, you'd expect the Model X to give you double the value and performance and comfort, and while some of that is true, I don't really think for most people it's actually worth it. As a Model X owner myself who's had this car for about a year and a half, let me break down the top 3 or 4 things you need to know about buying a Model X in 2025. Let me tell you about going the used route. Let me tell you about what you are getting as an advantage to any other Tesla in the lineup. And also, we've got some brand new info on a Model X refresh that might just totally change everything for 2025. If you're looking to buy a Model X or even a Model Y in 2025, this is the video you've got to watch because the choice might not be as clear as you thought. Here's the couple of big things you need to know. Okay, so right off the bat, sort of the first caveat here you need to know, especially if you're looking to buy a Model X, is that the Model Y Juniper refresh is at this point just weeks away or even days away from starting mass production, and this is going to even more give the Model X a run for its money. It's going to get big features like the RGB ambient lighting. It's actually rumored now to have a tilting screen like the Model X has. It's going to give you a very comfortable large cabin. Basically, it's going to give you, in some cases, a better, more comfortable, better valued packed car for substantially less than the Model X. And especially when you look at the Model Y versus the Model X now, and then Model Y Juniper versus Model X in 2025, that's going to make it a bit of a tougher sell. So keep that in mind. I'll come back to that more in a little bit. But first, I mean, with that being said, when you look at the Model X and you look at the Model Y, what exactly is the big difference you're paying so much more money for? I mean, seriously, $45,000 versus $80,000 is a lot of money. You're almost double the price of it right off the bat. And again, what exactly makes the Model X that much better? Because if you're looking at it here, okay, 330 range on the X, 337 on the Y has more range. Yeah, the top speeds, you're getting a little bit more on the X. And yeah, you've got that better 0 to 60 time, which is considerable. What exactly is it? And I think that the Model X over the Y, there's 3 things you're going to look at as big advantages. It's going to be better performance, more space, and more comfort. Let's talk about comfort for just a moment because, yeah, the Model X is a very comfortable Tesla. I know that in terms of luxury SUVs, there are other options on the market with massaging seats and opening panoramic powered glass sunroofs and rear entertainment displays and systems. There's a lot more on the market, but I will say, at least in the Tesla ecosystem, this is about as luxurious as you're getting. The fit and finish here is really nice. You've got really nice leather and soft materials. On the Plaid, you've got really nice carbon fiber accents. It's a very comfortable cabin, and there are a couple of ways here that Tesla is elevating the experience over Model Y. You've got very comfortable seats, both heated seats and cooled seats, which is currently not on the Model Y as of right now. You're getting bigger displays in the front, 2 displays, including a tilting 17-inch display. You obviously got the rear display. You've got a myriad of different seating options and arrangements, and everyone here is getting a very comfortable experience for a couple of reasons. One is that the car is larger, so you just feel like you have more space to spread out. You don't feel like you're so packed together, especially in the back of the vehicle like you would be on the Model Y. Also, with the addition of the captain's chairs options, you've got a really nice, more luxurious way for your back passengers to experience longer car rides or road trips. Also, with the Falcon Wing doors, as controversial as they may be, it does make entering and exiting the back of that vehicle much simpler. Also, if you've got a car seat and you've got small children like I do, having that extra versatility of the Falcon Wing door is really nice. As I've shown off before, it really is an invaluable asset of the Model X. You've also got the option for powered seats for that second row, so you can easily get back to the third row. You've got heated seats for both the back 2 seats and even the rear seats for the 6 or 7 seat configuration. Not only do you have cup holders, USB-C charging, but also those seats are heated. So all in all, it's a more luxurious and comfortable experience, not just for the front driver and passenger, but also for all passengers. If you've got older kids who want a little bit more room, they're going to enjoy some more comfortable seating and also just more space. And then especially if you're hauling around, I'd say more than like 4 people. If you've got 5, 6, or 7 people, you want to maximize the comfort on road trips or longer trips. The X is just going to give you a more comfortable experience than the 5-seat Model Y, or especially the 7-seat Model Y. 7-seat Model X is just way more usable than a 7-seat Model Y. The Model X has also got an adaptive air suspension system, so you do have that extra comfort just from the ground up, so to speak, with that vehicle. You've got the really large glass sunroof, a great audio system. It's just a very comfortable drive. Yes, it's going to be a bigger vehicle to sort of maneuver around than you'd have with the Model Y, but it is very nice to have that suspension system. You've got a really nice, luxurious sort of interior. It's not the pinnacle of luxury in terms of SUVs or EVs, certainly, but it is going to be a more comfortable overall experience for yourself. And especially if you're comparing the Model Y, this is going to be a bit of a step up, and which it should be for the price. Also, a quick note on price. The Model X Long Range, this base offering here, does actually qualify for the $7,500 federal tax credit. So if you do want to save nearly $8,000 on the Model X, you actually can do that with this specific model. Not the Plaid offering, but the Long Range one does qualify. And to give you some extra goodies, but still allow you to keep yourself under the threshold for the tax credit, little pro tip here, if you do decide to go with full self-driving for $8,000, Tesla will give you any paid upgrade on the Model X for free. This includes things like higher-end color options. It includes things like larger tires, also includes the yoke, 5, 6, or 7-seat configuration. Any paid upgrade can be yours for free if you option full self-driving for $8,000, but because software doesn't count for the limit, you're going to get a free upgrade and still capitalize on that nearly $8,000 of savings, at least for now until the tax credit goes away in 2025, which it looks like it's going to. Also, the Model X does give you a couple of special things you won't find on other Teslas. For example, the lunar silver color is not Quicksilver. It's an exclusive color just to the S and the X, the higher-end vehicles, so that is something that is nice. Ultra Red, I'm a fan of it. I think it looks beautiful. I've got an Ultra Red Model X, but of course, that is now on the Model Y and Model 3, so nothing special. You also do have the option for 22-inch turbine wheels. Again, these are a bit different, only for the Model X. So you will see right here, these are some of the most expensive wheel upgrades you could go with. Let me go back here and uncheck FSD. It's a $5,500 upgrade, which is definitely one of the most expensive upgrades you can get on a Tesla. Of course, it comes standard with a tow package, which is nice. You also do have a cream colored interior. I'm not a fan of the cream colored, but again, only on the S and X you can get this. And then, of course, the big thing for Model X is going to be the 5-seat, 6-seat, or 7-seat configuration. So 5 seats are going to give you 2 in the front and a row of 3 in the back that can go down. 6 seats is 2 in the front, 2 powered captain's chairs, 2 in the back. Then 7-seat is 2, 3, and 2. And of course, the big thing here is that 6-seat configuration option is one of the most expensive upgrades that Tesla offers at $6,500. That's because there are 2 captain's chairs, they're powered, there's a lot more that goes into it. $6,500. So that alone might make the little FSD hack worth it. Of course, the Model X is also going to give you the option for $1,000 of the yoke steering wheel. I'm a fan of the yoke. Some people don't like it, but that is an option for that. And then the one other little thing I do want to point out that's special just for Model X, that might be a big deal for some of you here, is a little something called the Drive Anywhere package. I mentioned this in a previous video, but I think it's actually very interesting. For $5,000, you're getting 3 years of free unlimited supercharging, premium connectivity, and full self-driving. Now, the premium connectivity, that's $100 a year, so if you do the math on that, $300, probably not the biggest thing ever. Full self-driving, that is $100 a month, so that would be $1,200 a year. 3 times 12 is $3,600, so that might be a little bit more worth it for $5,000. And then the free unlimited supercharging, that's something you could really even more get your value out of if you do a lot of supercharging. So again, only on the Model X for whatever reason, but definitely something to consider if you go with this car. I also should notice a little hack here is that if you actually lease a Model X, you can get that additional package for $90 more a month. And I think at that price point, $90 a month, getting you full self-driving, free unlimited supercharging, and premium connectivity, that's a bit of a deal. So those are some extra little special things you can only get on Model X that you won't find on Model Y. Second advantage Model X is going to have over Model Y and other Teslas in the fleet, all except probably Cybertruck, is going to be space, because you are going to get more space to utilize inside a Model X because, let's be honest, it's just a physically bigger car. I've done some side-by-side comparisons before. You can check out those videos down below, but the quick summary here is you are going to get a bigger frunk on the Model X than you are going to get on the Model Y, though still not a powered frunk, which drives me nuts for a car of this price, but it is going to be more usable. Obviously, when it comes to trunk space, you're going to get just more room on Model X. You've got the sub-trunk, you've got space on the sides. It is just going to be a better car for hauling larger things. And then just in general, on the inside, you've got not only more room for your passengers, but also just more room for storing things. So if you've got a family and you've got kids, or you're hauling people around and you've got bags and backpacks and bikes and skates and all that, you're just going to get some more space inside a Model X, with one little caveat here you should be aware of. You know how I mentioned a moment ago about the 6-seat configuration with the powered, captain's chairs? I'll say that as nice as that is, the one downside of that is that you can't actually put those seats down, which can make hauling larger objects a bit of an impossible feat depending on the object. I do love the captain's chairs and they do go forward, but unlike the 5 or the 7-seat configuration, they just don't lie flat. So if you are going to be hauling a lot of things, definitely keep in mind you do have a restriction there with the captain's chairs that they cannot lie flat. So learn from my mistake, because there have been things that I just couldn't put in the X because those seats just don't go down. So just a little tip there you really should know. From one owner to another, definitely keep that in mind when you do your configuration. And finally, when it comes to just sheer performance, if you want basically a souped up, people call it a minivan, but if you want like a souped up SUV that has the performance of a sports car, you just simply cannot beat Model X, especially the Model X Plaid. Doesn't matter how fast the Model 3 Performance is, or even the Cyber Beast. The only thing that's beating a Model X Plaid in 0 to 60 time is the Model S Plaid. And given that the Model X is such a larger vehicle, it's pretty crazy. It can do 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. So if you are a fan of performance, if you've got a family, but you still want to be able to take this thing on a track or just have that instant oomph and torque and enjoy it, Model X Long Range is still a plenty powerful car with a 0 to 60 of 3.8 seconds, but man, the Plaid offering is amazing as well. Really nice there to have that performance. And again, to give you my perspective here as an owner, a couple of things you should know before we get into more of the meat and potatoes of the comparison here. Just a couple of things that didn't really fit into a category. One of them is that as cool as it is to have 2 screens, and I love having my speedometer front and center instead of having to look off to the right, that second screen is just not very useful. In the older Model X's and S's, Tesla would actually allow you to customize what you got on those screens, but with the newer ones, you just can't for some reason. It's definitely a big software regression, and there just really isn't much you can do with that second screen. It kind of feels useless. I do like having a larger main display. That is nice over the Model Y, but the second screen just don't feel like you're going to be getting a whole lot of value out of it because it's just not super useful. I've also talked about this before, but one of the pros and cons of this vehicle, one of the things my wife absolutely hates, is the massive glass windshield is super nice, like the helicopter-like windshield, but the little puny sun visors Tesla has in here are just not very good and barely cut it when it comes to a bright sunny day. So keep in mind that as nice as it is to have so much visibility, you're going to want to probably figure out something else if you've got a very bright commute or you live someplace super sunny, because the sun visors aren't very good. Also, I should mention one of the nice things about this car. So one of the overkill things, but one of the little perks of Model X is that all of the doors are powered. So the Falcon Wing doors you can open and close from your phone or within the car, but also the front driver's side door and the passenger side door are also powered. So you can actually open and close them from the screen. They also have a walk-away lock functionality thing, which is kind of cool. So if you get out of your car and you walk away, the door will actually close for you. And also one of the things I've shown off before is when you walk up to the car, the door should open up for you. And then also you can put your foot on the brake and close the door. So all the doors are powered, not something we've got in any other Tesla. Not probably as big of a little deal or a little Easter egg as it used to be, but it is kind of nice and only on Model X. But of course, the big question here is sort of what you got to consider, and that is the Model X worth it in 2025? And is it worth it over the Model Y? And there are a couple of things here we should discuss, and I know I've been talking a lot, so I'll make this quick. One of them is that I simply think that in the current form, if you're looking at MSRP versus MSRP, the Model X is not worth nearly double the price of the Model Y. While it is more comfortable, it is more spacious, it is a little bit more luxurious, I don't think the value you're getting there is worth double the price. Now, if you're looking at the used market and you happen to get a good deal on a Model X for maybe $10,000 more, $20,000 more, in that case, it very well could be worth it. But when you're looking at, $45,000 versus $80,000, I don't think that leap there is going to get you the value you're expecting or what you should be able to justify for that price difference. Of course, like I mentioned, though, it's not just the current Model Y that you've got to compare it to, but also the Model Y Juniper refresh, because this could be giving you all the things you'd want on a Model X that just simply aren't there. Rumor has it we'd be getting RGB ambient lighting. We'd get a pretty big exterior refresh with a new design. We could be getting steer-by-wire on the Model Y. We'd be getting more range. We'd be getting a tilting display and more luxurious features. The Model X already kind of now feels a little antiquated compared to the Model 3, but once the Model Y Juniper refresh comes with all of these features, it's going to be even harder to justify the Model X, which puts Tesla into a very difficult predicament, which is, what do you do with the Model X to make it worthwhile, or is it even worth keeping around? When Model Y Juniper comes onto the scene, it's going to be even harder to justify the existence of the Model X, because yes, while the Model X does, as I've shown off in this video, have some unique pros, it also has got a lot of cons, and I think many people just don't see the price justification to go up in price, especially given what Model Y Juniper is going to bring. And I think there's a lot of discussion right now that maybe the Model X just doesn't make sense in Tesla's lineup moving forward, and maybe they should just get rid of it and just not make it. Maybe it just doesn't make sense given the price and the features, and given the fact that sort of Cybertruck and Model Y are sort of cannibalizing its sales from both ends. Maybe Tesla just doesn't need to be making a Model X anymore. The flip side of that, though, obviously, is, well, instead of just end-of-lifing it and killing it and getting rid of it, why doesn't Tesla just refresh it and make it more worthwhile? Actually, today, as I'm recording this, Dennis CW posted here on X from a follower that they were noticing that the Model S and X have delivery dates pushed to March and April of 2025. This is something typically Tesla does when a refresh is coming. Happened with the 3. It's happening right now with the Model Y. It's how we know Juniper is on the way. And I wonder if a Model S or X refresh could be coming. Now, we have heard previously that Tesla was working on a Model X refresh that would bring a couple of very important upgrades. RGB ambient lighting, love it or hate it, just makes the car feel more fresh and modern in 2025, so that would be very nice to see. We also heard a front bumper camera, like on Cybertruck, would be coming to Model X, and I can tell you, as someone who has driven both of these things, one of the things the Model X desperately needs is some sort of front bumper camera. Would make this vehicle way easier to navigate, so I hope that's true. And then in general, I just would love to see Tesla put more in here to make the Model X worth it. I think steer-by-wire would make a lot of sense as something that Tesla could do to make that vehicle feel more premium and luxurious. Maybe it's things like a bigger screen. Maybe it's a more usable secondary screen. The rumor mill has been sparse on what Tesla could be changing or how big of a refresh this could be. But I definitely think that given the Model Y Juniper refresh, Tesla has got to do more to make the Model X more compelling. The Model S has sort of the advantage of being sort of the halo car. It's the fastest. It's got some stuff going for it uniquely. Model X just doesn't have that. They've got to make it more compelling, and I hope the Model X gets a refresh with a ton of new features. So as a Model X owner, that is what I'm hoping we see in 2025, and hopefully that helps sort of make it clear on whether or not it's worth it or not. Those are the unique advantages. Those are the pros and cons, but of course, I want to know your thoughts down below. Are you interested in a Model X? Are you looking at a Model X? Yay or nay? Would you go the used route? Or I'm curious, for those of you who have a Model X, how happy are you with it? And also, what do you think Tesla needs to do to make that vehicle more competitive especially given the changing landscape with Model Y Juniper. Please drop a comment down below and let me know. I also want to take a quick moment here to thank one of my favorite companies, really, I think one of the companies making the best Tesla accessories on the market, your one-stop shop, your one place to go, and that, of course, is TPARTS. They've got so many amazing accessories, from sunshades, gaming controllers, underscreen storage. They've got lights for the front, the trunk, and so much more. Carbon fiber accents. They've got phone holders. TPARTS has it all for every single Tesla model. If you want to learn more and check them out for yourself, they've got an amazing lineup. Link, of course, down below, and use my code Robert10 for 10% off. And of course, if you guys stay to the very end of the video and want a free way to win some Amazon money, all you got to do is 3 simple things: like this video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below, and just let me know what kind of content you'd like to see from me in 2025. As we enter into a new year, I'm always looking to make the channel better and am open to any feedback, criticism, suggestions, whatever you guys got. I'm all ears because I want to make videos better and want to make videos you guys want to watch. So let me know down below. As always, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you all in the next one.